not going to be able to fingerboard like straight away. It is just a bit too early for that. Oh, why is that soaking wet? And you know how some days I come on and talk about random stuff, not even fingerboarding or anything like that, because I just like to talk. Right. Can you blame me? Anyway. Yeah, so every day I sit there, like, I want to get up in the morning, have a coffee, do what I've got to do, yeah. And one animal I always forget about, because I will get to the work topic in a second. The one animal I always forget about is the bloody Komodo dragon, bro. Generally fucking terrifying. I think out of all the animals literally on the planet, like, don't get me wrong, like sharks, hippos, they all freak me out. They're all, you know, being eaten alive or whatever, but I think the Komodo dragon is easily, arguably, probably the worst. I think generally it's the most terrifying on this planet. I don't think anyone can argue about me. Like every other animal on the planet, so I will get to topic and say since I'm watching it, so I'm like, oh yeah, crap, I forget about that animal every single time. That is the Komodo dragon. Evil, simply thing, man. Oh, that was. I'm sorry I'm late for one, guys. I just wanted to get some more art done this morning, really. And I was going to have a little fingerboard, but I forgot to post up videos saying I'll be on a little late. Yeah, I got distracted. So I was like, if anyone joins my live regularly, I know I talk about like wildlife and I mean anything. And this morning, I always say about when I travel to Australia, it's one animal I always forget about, not an Australian, which probably scares me the most. And like I can't ever stop. Do you know how like I don't know if people get that? I cannot stop thinking about it. I was like, John, I'm so happy I don't live near that thing. That is a Komodo dragon. And I know I'm like, to be fair, I thought it could eat a person for sure. It can eat like what? I think it's like 3 times its body size, or is it mass? I don't even know. Because as well as being like the biggest lizard on the planet, it packs a venomous punch. And what's it called? I can never remember the name of the venom. Hemorrhoid or something like that. And it stops you essentially clotting, so you just bleed out slowly. I think it's eaten alive. Horrible. Sorry, one second, I'm looking for my. Oh, I brought my coffee, didn't I? That is the shit of nightmares. 100%, because it's so slow and drawn out. But I don't like sharks or anything, but at least it's quick. Sorry, one second. If you're like me, you can't do anything with anything, just touch. I don't touch my phone or anything until I've like washed my hands thoroughly, because it says illegal foods. One thing I'm noticing now as I'm getting slightly older is, you know how your skin's just know when it's your like, I don't know, I've never had to moisturise, that's all I'm trying to say. And now my hands are starting to get old and crusty, man. I'm like, wait. And it seems to happen so quick. I've never used flipping. My girlfriend does fine. I've always been like, I don't need that. Yeah, your body produces a natural amount of whatever, and I'm like, oh no. Well, I guess because it is just for too long. Oh, my coffee's in there. Sorry, guys, I keep forgetting. I always say that I'm a little late on today. If I'd have gone any earlier, I'd have just sat there like a vegetable in the chair, to be honest with you. I have just things like, to get working, I have to start working, but if I don't, I need to wake up a little bit first, but if I don't actually get with it, start going, get the ball rolling, I don't think it ever does in the day. Right, just bear with. I'm sorry, I wasn't meant to start the live, to be honest with you. Not this early. It's going to give it another 10 minutes so I can have a coffee in that. So I just want to put a jumper on, rather than be sitting here in a dressing gown, because yeah, cool, I work from home so I can stick my cozies, but most of the time I don't realise I'm working from home. I think that's the best thing actually. It feels, I don't want it to feel like a job, I want it to feel like something I enjoy. You know what I mean? That's the best part about it. So it's more like a hobby or a passion than a business. Obviously it is a business, but it's still my passion. One sec. Sorry, everyone. Live's so misleading. Put all your settings in, and instead of saying okay, it just didn't go live straight away. Probably should read it a little bit better. But oh, Lord. That was good. Seriously. I'm an idiot. Bear with, it's too cold. And things are too expensive to put the heat on for too long. But anyway, I hope I'm having a good, I was going to say a good week. Is it Monday or Tuesday? This is the issue from working from home. Monday, isn't it? No. should have gone with my instinct at first. Monday. I thought so, yeah. Well, no one knows it's my brain this morning. Guys, I literally might grab a cigarette, right, have a coffee, and then start the live again, but make sure I get it right this time. So I literally like pushed everything, all the settings on my phone. I was like, great. Walked away, turned around again. It was like live. I was like, wait, what? And I'm like, I forget this platform. It's just you confirm the settings rather than saying okay, and then it goes back. Then you click on go live. It goes straight to the live at the bottom, where instead of normally where on other things it'd be like okay, or continue, or confirm, or whatever. It then just goes go live, and then it does a countdown. I'm like, oh shit, trying to find somewhere to put my phone. Am I so? Yeah, I'm totally depressed. It's so obvious. Oh, mate, actually piss off. Right. Okay. Actually pathetic. Oh, don't even know if I done the right one. Oh, people. Anyway, the thing is, like I said, I'm not even bothering to fight them because so people don't get a message. I respond, but what you guys, what people need to understand, I'm not letting consume my day. I have my own business. I'm super happy in life. You know, if I was here and gone the next minute, I'm also super happy in life because I've got where I want to. This is what people, if you're always setting goals for yourself, doesn't always work out. But if you set one ultimate goal, which one is just become a better person, you know, to get sober, to try my hardest day to day, that's all I cared about. Here I am. You know what I mean? I'm also, like I said before, quickly, and I showed it before, and it's going to be in the book, so it's diagnosed sociopath, but it ain't like what people think it is. There's 1 in 100 people day to day you'll meet. They're not like everyone's a. Did you only know 2 serial killers in history were actually only, what's it called, had psychopathy? Where they're like, oh, it's all of them have it. It's only 2 of them out of hundreds, but that doesn't mean they can't. They're just more normally smart and methodical. They don't get caught. That's the truth. But that doesn't mean they also are. It just means normally, the whole thing is no frontal lobe. So in the eyes of someone with psychopathy, if you do something wrong to them, they won't care. They would literally put their own life. They don't care about their own life. It becomes like the ultimate revenge. I guess that's the best way to say it. But then also at the same time, there's like this lack of care for anything, unless you really set your mind to it. So the whole not caring about people is a lie too. You do, just really who you set your mind on or not. Like my partner, obviously my sibling, and like I don't know. I care about my customers obviously, but other people it's just like no care until you earn that care. Because you understand this world's a brutal place. You don't just go into it giving all your care because people tear you down very quickly. You go in there with like this sort of understanding of how brutal the world is and just kind of like move through it. That's it. You don't like run it at full page. You don't give it your all. But you don't, you give everything you've got your all, but not everybody else. I always think you go in a little bit cautiously until you know what people are like, and then you can give your all or not. Because otherwise, you end up giving your all to people who just completely burn you out, burn your spark up, burn your lifeline out, whatever you want to call it. That feel good. I don't even know where it is. Oh well. But yeah, I'm gonna go for a cigarette and then I'll be back. Oh, I'm not talking to you, bro. That's the thing. Is other people are removed, but they can still potentially hear. But it doesn't even matter. Like I said, I'm not. If people want to listen, they don't have to. If people want to take on board, they do. I think most people agree with what I'm saying most of the time. In the sense of if you, I don't know, it's really not common. It's almost common sense, isn't it? That's why I feel like most people agree with it. it's the common approach to most things in life, and then people are like, wow, is this like, well, no, it's like most people agree. And then this we go this far as well. So someone might have a swastika, right, on their profile picture, you know, and someone goes, oh, I don't support small hats and stuff like this. To me, having absolutely no idea of my heritage, no idea of my faith, no idea of absolutely anything, just spewing toxicity, right? Hate to break it to everybody, right? Yes, I have heritage, but I follow strictly by Josh's rules. No, I'm joking. I just follow me. You know what I mean? Like, I don't. Truthfully, yes. I've had bacon sandwiches. I'd be terrible. I mean, I don't. My point is, you cannot just judge a book by its cover. Just because someone decides to have curly hair, someone goes and gets it permed. I mean, this world's just crazy. Do people not see that? I don't understand there's people that want chaos, but the people who don't want chaos are also pursuing this chaos by following these crazy ideas, bro, that don't even have any backing behind them. Because the way people say to me, oh, but yeah, you're small hat, those small hats, because they just take jobs and monies and where'd you get that logic from? Because if anything, my parents would be closer to that heritage, and they were junkies on the sofa all day. Didn't do anything with their lives. Didn't even know they had kids most of the time, let alone they were breathing or human beings that existed in this realm, right? They were just not with it. So to sit there and say that doesn't make any sense, because it means then I would be, what, better than they were? No, sorry, they would be better than I am, because they have more of a heritage. That's, you know, it's just ridiculous. It's honestly so dumb. I find it hilarious. You're smart if you're smart. You're stupid if you're stupid. You know, there's nothing to do with. Yeah, it can have a little bit to do with heritage, but then at the same time, because like a bird knows how to hunt because of its, you know, ancestry. That's true, but you also aren't your bloodline. You aren't who you are who you set out to be, and that's what I want to change. I think I know. I suppose like what one person can do, but look what one person did during World War II. I mean, quite a bit. And I'll always sit there and say, I'm such a fair, rational person, because loads of people won't agree with this, but like, Germany's economy was sorted out before the war went. You know, that's the truth. Like, people will never be like, I'm not saying that makes a good person's deeds or a bad person's deeds. Like, you can always say something has happened that's good in life, and then also bad. You don't have to like associate it to the same thing. Like, well, we're not sure, because is it heinous? It just makes me laugh. That's all. Not that, but how stupid people can be. People sit there and think, oh, I think so. You think you have a supreme thought way of thinking, right? A pathway, you know, pathways. Yet you're so stupid to not see the brainwashing that you have fallen to. It's just so obvious. It's there in plain sight. I mean, each their own. Sorry, 1 second. I'm looking for. I will be more ordering wood today, since the point doing it over the weekend, to be honest with you, because it wouldn't have come anyway until Monday. Did you turn the microphone up? Confused what you mean, bro. I don't even see it. I have. Wait, you're saying it's louder now than it was before? Or you're saying it's quieter now than it is before? Because realistically, I'm a bit like, I have no idea. Some people obviously come on the live and say they can't hear anything, and I'm like, well, other people have responded to me, so I feel like they have, but I think other times I've just got water on my phone, or who knows. But I'm also, actually no, I was going to say something, but I'm actually pretty sure. I also just know nothing about, say, religions. I just also appreciate people's opinions and stance on things, because you want someone to appreciate, say, you like art, or you like painting, or gardening, right? Just to appreciate that you like that. Because that could be an opinion, that could be classed as a religion. In your own right, I'm just saying, you could label whatever you want. It's someone's preference. to how they choose to live their life. As long as it doesn't interfere with you, I think that's fine. That's just my personal, like, you know, and perfect example of that, say if I wanted a fingerboard or draw all day, but I also still do the other part and I clean the flat and the house and stuff for me and my partner and look after things, I can't just fingerboard all day and draw, even though it's funner, it's the best way, it's business. Business is more important, that's also the truth. And if not then my partner, we come first, business comes second, flat comes third. But if you find a way to sort of mix them, but sort of my partner comes first because, do you know what I mean? Like people always say, oh, but you should also be able to be independent. And I am, because it's your together while you're in it, if that makes sense. Do you know what I mean? I always believe that. Well, there you go. It's an improvement from there. There you go. I started mumbling as soon as I said that. It's an improvement from before. I have no idea why it does this, unfortunately. Like, there's no reason. My phone should not be able to properly hear me. I don't know if that's better, because it could be a fact of like my phone's on a table, like the mic down. I'm not sure if that's what's causing it. So if when I'm lifting it up now, it sounds a little bit better, by all means. But I also do mumble a bit. That's unfortunately just me. I've had a lot of people say I need to like pick it up. And I'm like, well, at the end of the day, like it or don't like it, you know, I'll try and speak up for people and try my hardest to. But when there's people that are just straight up rude, I straight up don't care, because I'm like, well, so what? You don't have to be rude about it. I mumble probably because they're brain damage, slightly. And like, no, not like, it doesn't matter, I won't get into it, but yeah. It's also because I also naturally, then this is not how deep my voice is. I have to add this sort of pitch to it. Fuzzers, I'm gonna try and do it now, it's weird because I've been speaking at this pitch for a while. When I say a while, at least today, do you know what I mean? Like, normally I'll be just, oh, it's so weird to go back down to, yeah, there you go to back this. It's not even like add anything, and normally you'd be a little more quieter, but no one can understand what I'm saying. So now I have to add this sort of pitch to it. And I know there's guys who will relate, because I literally speaking to all my partner's family, my family, everybody, like, pardon? Excuse me, what? I'm like, oh. So I end up just screaming it. I'm obviously not screaming it, but you know what I mean? Like singing it out. Adding this high pitched note to it, just so people can understand what you're saying. And the reason that actually makes sense is because I know it's not just women, probably think I'm going to say that, but men and women are both programmed to hear high pitched noises more than lower pitched noises because of babies. We're both programmed to hear that. So that's probably why if I speak with a low register, people can't really understand what I'm saying. And it's quite annoying. Even guys who love a guy, they're like, what were you saying? I'm like, okay. Alright. Or people then put an absurdly deep voice on to try and push the loudness of the deep voice, and I'm like, that sounds way worse to me. I'd rather push like a more flamboyant, outgoing voice and like, yo, like trying to like carry my voice across the room, because it just sounds unreasonably fake and deep. Right, I have no idea why I put my fucking bucket this morning. Well done, me. Like I said, everyone, I wouldn't want to start live yet. I was going to roll myself on, go for a little coffee, sit there, enjoy whatever's left of the sun this morning before it completely disappears. Things raining today a bit, but probably will be a little bit, at least be covered. You know when you got that nice bit of sun in the morning, everyone's like, there was no sun today. I was like, there was. You just need to get up before like 11 o'clock. You know, because you need like half the day. If you get up at normally like 5 or 6, you get some sun. If there's just like that big open open, obviously. Where did I put it? Oh, I'm such an idiot. What I am going to be doing though as well, I forgot to mention this, I'm going to be ordering like a mic set, right? So I'm actually have a mic so the lives will be a lot more clearer. And so if I do happen to walk into the kitchen to go and get, I don't know, coffee or something like that, I can still talk about that. So, mic check, 1 2 1 2. Yeah, I mean, and I have one before, but because I skateboard and I have my head, you know what I mean, I have a phone, and I normally don't put my phone down to record. Like, yeah, I record my skating a lot of the time, but most of the time I just skate because I enjoy skating. Like, I feel like people should do, just skate for the fun of skating. And now, obviously, I do play down or something like that, but the amount of times I drop my phone out of my pocket, come flying out when I'm skating. And before I had it where I was using it, the mic thing was clipped on, but I had to plug it into my phone as well. But it came out my pocket and landed like plug side down into the thing and just snapped it off. I was like, fuck, I had to spend like 20 quid on the mic, and I was like, you know what, I give up again. I was like, it's just telling me not to do it. It's like a year ago now. And since then, I'm like, I don't need to do talking videos. I do lives. I try and pick my voice up a little bit. I'm all good. But realistically now, I kind of probably do need to look at getting one, because I'm making way more videos than I usually do. Morning, sorry guys. I'm literally, see, there's no point in me, I don't want to end the live and be a nuisance again, because sometimes if I end it, come back on, end it, it like shows people that I'm back on live, and then I won't be on the live, and then, you know, they might not come on thinking I'm on. But I really need to learn this system of, once you put all the settings in, instead of it just being like continue or confirm, it says go live. But I just am like used to lives where they don't normally go live straight away, so it messes me up a little bit. Oh damn it. So I just essentially need to figure out where I put a rollie. Aha, found it. So I don't pre-roll sometimes, because if I pre-roll myself one, I end up losing the pre-roll anyway, so what's the point? I never lose a customer's order. This is the weird thing I was getting at the other day. I do find it very weird. I think it's probably just because it's always centre of my mind when I've got a customer and thinking about, you know, getting an order out to the customer. I don't want to let them down. And everything's always on my desk, like there and then. As soon as I leave, boom, label on, out the door. Right. So we're going for this, then I'll be back out. And I'll be back in like 10 minutes, 15 minutes. I don't know what it is. I always sit there and like remind myself, like, I don't act normally to normal things because of my condition. And like, I mean, most things, like it could be, and it's not to sound just horrible, but when you grow up, and it's also one reason why I guess I'm not allowed in the army or anything like that, but if you have something like complex PTSD or PTSD, you can be a little bit, not morbid, but you're like morbidly okay with things more because you've experienced it. It's not, you know, morbidly curious. That's normally what you have before you experience anything, and then you're like, okay, I'm not curious anymore. You know, there's nothing to learn. There's no peak of interest, because the curiosity to me stems behind, you know, really not understanding something. Well, that's kind of an obvious, but I mean, morbid curiosity. So having morbid understanding, really, of things. But the one thing that I can't and never get over, right, as someone who's well travelled and knows all, like, loves funnel web spiders. I don't like spiders, but I appreciate that these are dangerous animals out there in the world. And the thing that always just strikes me is a Komodo dragon. I have no idea why. I have no idea. I think it's the fact that it just bites you and then follows you around for like days, bro, like a week. Laziest flipping hunter on planet Earth, right? Just waiting for you to just bleed out so I can eat you whole. That's nightmare fuel, bro. Like, there's things that I think that's the whole point of it. Goes on for days. Don't even look up. That's all I can say to people. Really, 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 really don't look up. It's so messed up, bro. That's like God just went. That's essentially just took a dragon away, right? Without the breathing fire and without the wings, don't fly. But I mean, it eat you whole. 3 times your size, bro. Oh. Anyway. It, to me, is like I love snakes. Well, I love snakes. But to me, it's like a snake with legs and like a head this big. Right? And I think people don't understand, in the animal kingdom, there's so many different animals that are like pretty savage. I think Komodo dragon's probably the most savage one out of all of them. You know, your crocodiles that sack and roll, and sharks that pull down and stuff like that, but nothing, I don't think anything, that's just like weeks go by. And it follows food around like a drive-through, bro, or something, you know? Oh, messed up. Messed up. And it's one thing that every time I'm always talking about animals, like I think my brain tries to forget that one on purpose, because it's so, I mean, seriously, I've I've never seen anything so messed up in my life in the animal kingdom. I would say I got bit by a copperhead because I was trying to figure out if it was copperhead or it was because then you actually don't always need the anti-venom for a copperhead. I was like, that makes sense now. This made me feel very sick, like kind of hot fever. Didn't really notice it. That's not really any pain in a weird way, and that comes with a lot of different animal bites. But so like to me, like after being in Australia, after being to like Thailand, no sorry Taiwan, I always say them back front, even they're completely different places. It's so dumb. I want to go to Thailand, but yeah, Taiwan. And you got like crazy spiders, bro. You also got like brown recluses. Is that? I want to say that's Australia as well. But is that? No, it's not. Or is it? No, it's not. Is that the States, bro? I have no idea. But all these different spiders, which will just end your day in a second. A little Minecraft spider just end your day in a second. But tell you what, nothing is more messed up, in my opinion, than a Komodo dragon. Bro, the thing don't even have teeth, bro. Like, in a way, it does, but I mean, they're not really sharp, you know what I mean? Just swallow you whole. Or tear you, but alive. Nah, I'm good. I'm alright. So what set me off on that this morning was I watched the internet. I was like, I watch the internet. How old am I getting? I sit there. I feel like I sit like older people still do, like boomers and stuff like that, and millennials. Anyway, I sit there and I'll be watching videos on YouTube, right, scrolling through shorts, and I get to like something like I don't know, Komodo dragon or just some animal or something. But yeah, that's me done with the internet. Every time I forget about the out of all the animals ever, I don't know why I forget about Komodo dragon, and I just, as I said. I love wildlife and I love animals. It's a bit by a copperhead. Since I got bit by a snake and also got over the fear of spiders, really. Do you know what I mean? Like, to be honest with you, it's crazy. As a kid, I'd be pinned to that, like wherever I was as soon as I saw it, and I would not be able to move. Even if I was closer to the way out, and it was on like my bed, and I walked into my bedroom, it would like paralyse me in fear. And I don't understand why. You know what I mean? And people, I think it's something to do primarily because I'd already been through a lot as a kid, so that's why am I scared of a spider and I'm not scared of my dad? You can punch a lot harder than a little spider can on my wall. Completely terrifying. And as I got older, I remember when I moved into my first flat on my own, there was a house spider and it was on my wall for ages. It just stayed up in the corner. I think it scared me. And then I looked up and I don't know if I took a picture of it. I was like looking around for like big spiders in the, because I was like, why is this so big? I hadn't seen one this big before. It's a house spider, friendly, won't hurt you. If anything's more scared, I was like, oh right, yeah, of course it's more scared of me. I didn't believe it first, but I started to notice it really was kind of just staying in the corner. It wasn't, and when I went to leave the room, go to the toilet, came back, it had moved, but it wasn't moving again. I was like, clearly it just didn't want to leave when I was there, like it was scared of me. And I mean, to be fair, I'm like, you're scaring me and I want to stamp on you. So that's probably where the primal for it and for me came in. So for now, I know it sounds stupid for people, but I will try and pick a spider up or something and put it outside. Yes, I don't want it laying babies and stuff inside, like especially if the only ones I'd ever potentially get rid of are false widows now in the UK because they actually leave a very, very nasty bite on you. And if you get in your bed and you get bit multiple times, evil things. But like other ones like house spiders and stuff, just really leave them be. Do you know what I mean? To be honest with you, because I said I used to be terrified of spiders to put my head frozen against the wall, and now I'll be the one to remove them. When you move in and out on your own, you kind of got to, do you know what I mean? Especially when you're trapped with one for a while, you realise you've got to get over your fear of these things. But that to me is my only irrational fear, other than sharks as well. I've always said if I fell in the water with a shark, I would literally probably have a heart attack or a cardiac arrest. But knowing my luck, that's what I want to happen, and it wouldn't happen. I'd like, have a heart attack. I mean, I'd want it to happen. Who wants to be eaten by a shark? Not me. Like, I don't like sharks. I think the idea of drowning, that freaks me out way too much. But I also think a Komodo dragon would freak me out more, being eaten alive slowly. But I mean, also you are eaten alive both ways. But I mean, just swallowed whole. I don't like the idea of being swallowed whole, but I feel like being chumped and then gone. Maybe a 5-minute bite rather than like a 2-week trek. And what made me sort this out today was I was sitting there watching a video on, as I say, on scrolling through YouTube Shorts, and I see a guy feeding this pet Komodo lizard that he's got, right? Komodo dragon, I call him lizard, but right, it's a small. He's just feeding it a whole plate of chicken, right? Things like even I know they do worse than that. Like I don't when I say a picture, obviously chicken pieces. And I'm thinking, bro, like the only reason that thing's not eating you is because you are feeding it chicken, right? And obviously that's a given. There's a lot of animals that eat their owners or owners if they didn't feed them. I mean, that's kind of an obvious one, but still, bruh. I couldn't have a Komodo. I couldn't have a Komodo lizard. Or dragon. I know they're dragons, but I think it's a really silly name for it. But still, the shark is my biggest fear. I generally think. I've seen a basking shark. I think, to be honest, what sparked my fear with sharks so deeply was watching Jaws as a kid. That's not it. Jaws is a good film. I enjoy Jaws, but then jumping in Dorset or Cornwall and seeing a basking shark. The biggest thing animal I've ever seen, like by that point, obviously I've seen now, so like safari, being like an elephant and stuff like that now, but at that point in the UK, I didn't know about this thing, and I was like, there's a, you know, I thought it was a great white, I didn't know what it was. I was like, there's a big shark, like Josh, you would have been, it'd been like maybe an old pipe you would have seen or something like that, just in the water, like submerged you, just, you know. When we checked again, then people went in with like, you know, goggles, couldn't see anything. So I was like, see, it would have been something because there was something there. And I said, this thing was easily, I mean, I was like, I could fit in his mouth. This thing had a giant mouth, and for years I didn't know what a basking. No one said, could it be in a basking shark? No one even suggested it. So there's me thinking, though, I saw this flipping great white, like Jaws essentially in the water. And then obviously years later, I see a basking shark. I'm like, that's literally what I see. Now obviously I've seen hounds, smooth hounds. I've seen. Well, I've been in the water with reef tips. So they're not bad. You know, I mean, they don't freak me out as much at all. I mean, I probably wouldn't want to be swimming and then turn around and see barracudas. I know that's not a shark, but still, that freaked me out. But still, all these animals, yeah, nothing actually freaked me out. And that is actually what gave me my thalassophobia, because I didn't expect it. No one told me. I just thought, you know, you might see a ray at most, or you might see like, or a smooth hound, you know, like tiny sharks like this, are the biggest. Not something that is like so much bigger than me that I couldn't even see the end of it, but I just see this big mouth. I freaked out so hard, felt like I had a heart attack. And because you do, because you're like, you've watched Jaws a few years beforehand, and then that happens. Yeah, and as I say, since then, it's like the only things I will generally watch a movie of, and it makes me want to pull my legs up. Even when I'm on dry land, I'm watching it on the sofa. It's so weird. And I think that's like, I don't know, it's like a primal instinct that kicks in, who knows. Terrifying, man. But yeah, as I say, this thing was huge. I've never seen such a, by that point, and such a scare as well. Because obviously, you know, when the bubbles, you jump in the water, you know, glasses jumped off a pier, you hold them on so they don't come off your face. And then like everything bubbles a little bit first, and then everything starts to clear. Yeah, and then that's the first thing you kind of see. Like, sort of. I saw the end of it, and then turned, and I was like, oh crap. And they're quite common, but they wouldn't eat you at all. I mean, you could fit in its mouth, just really, but then it would spit you out again. It wouldn't want to eat you. I mean, they are generally like, people talk about like puppies, like sea puppies, and that is generally like a sea puppy. Like, generally just doesn't eat anything bigger than, like, you know, shrimp and krill and anything tiny small plankton fish. So it just gets beyond it. So I was just talking about, like, I like watching wildlife things, right? You know, I feel like I've seen all the scariest things in person, ish, and obviously being in, like, you know, crocodiles, things like this, hippopotamuses, and then I'm like, and then I watched a video this morning of someone feeding a flipping pet lizard, and I feel like, you know, all these dangerous things in the world, and someone's just got a flipping Komodo dragon in my living room, and like, it's a small one, but still, people understand, like, it will still eat you, even if it's like yay big. It will just, you know, bite, venom, you start to not be able to, obviously you can't clot. That's what happens, and you just swallow you whole. Well, I won't be able to swallow a person whole, that's tied one, but still, terrifying things. And to be fair, it's one of the only land animals that actually really kind of freak me out. Because, you know, like lions, tigers, or bears. Like, yeah, bear would be brutal, but I mean, and no disrespect to anybody, but you just got to imagine, like, if you want to put it on comparison, it pales in comparison, because it's like, could be over in 5-10 minutes, could be over in a minute. But with the Komodo, like, if you ain't got help and you have to walk like everything else, you can go on for days or like weeks, and it just follows you. That's got to be, and how they walk is like really creepy. I mean, that'd be terrifying. That's just nightmare fuel for days and days and days. You know you can't rest. You know you're not healing. That's it. You're done for. Ugh. And I really recommend never looking up any videos ever For anyone who's like slightly, I mean, even if you think you're not that sensitive, that is more of a like a gut wrenching one. Like, whoa, God is a crazy. And then people go, oh, that's just, well, no, I just think, you know, because if you make all life, you've got to come up with some pretty wacky, wild inventions. And I mean, seriously, swallowing whole, bro. It's like it's like a snake. Dislocate his jaw, but with legs. And I mean, like literally, you could ride them. They're that big, you know. Ugh, terrifying things. Anyway, guys, I'm going to go to cigarette when I come back. As I said, that's why I watched it. I was like, that's enough intent for today. Because I wanted a comment, and the guy was never seen again. So he fed it chicken, and it's like, this thing's like growling at him, like it roars, bro. Ugh. That'd be horrible. Imagine just like you got your leg out of bed in the morning, you're warm, you just feel something licking your foot. Like, what's that? Boom, bite. Hematic venom? I can't remember what it's called, but it stops you essentially clotting up. Oh, evil little thing. It's like the closest thing to a bloody Demogorgon, I swear. Sorry guys, as I said, I didn't mean to start the live this morning. It just kind of, it has a weird setup on here. You click on, you know, all the settings, you click on confirm. Well, that's what I mean, I've seen it again. It's not confirm, it's go live. In my head, I'm like, oh, it's going to be confirmed. You know, after you do settings on something, you normally click on, you normally have to confirm something, but it automatically just goes through. So I'm like, ah, that's weird. But yeah, I really appreciate everyone being patient this morning. I'm sorry that I'm like all over the shop now. We'll be back properly in frame once I've gone back, when I've gone for this. Yeah, anyway, I really appreciate everyone being patient. I thought there's no point in ending it, just in case anybody that joins, I'm like, you know, usually watch me a little bit earlier than this. And I will be going live later as well. I don't know what time my partner's leaving. She's going out tonight and then staying at my partner's, staying at her grand's. So with that, I will be able to do like more of an evening live as well. And then today I'm proper locking with fingerboard. So I haven't got any clips to upload, unfortunately. Because when you edit, you realise like, it's quite funny, right? You might land some clean tricks, but so it's always going open and shut like myself. So what do you call it? Yeah, when you're landing these tricks, they feel really clean, but when you look on the camera, you realise they're not as clean as it might have felt. So that happens quite quick. So also I record it, and then I get it cut down into slow-mo. I typically normally get either two recordings of it, or the same one, high speed. I would, before it broke, which I'm so glad about, with my GoPro, I could literally record it like 8K, but like, what was it, like 400? No. I actually can't remember. I think it was like, it might have been 240 or something like that frames a second. It's crazy speed, like, but in slow-mo as well. So you could slow it down so well with high quality. Normally, if you've got an iPhone, you have to sacrifice the quality for the slow-mo and this and that. That's why they did it, because obviously the battery broke in it. Just because I decided one night to record the bloody stars. What a good idea. It's because it said to, and I was thinking, oh, it's a good idea, but just because it says to on there, that's what it's for. Obviously, it just literally gone past his warranty of being able to change it over for, and I'm like literally by about a week, 2 weeks. It's so annoying. Oh well. I mean, oh well, the reason it is very gutting, I'm going to keep it, because hopefully the sale I could do to it, is the camera's like 400 something quid, which I honestly think now you just get yourself, you could probably get yourself a phone with a great quality camera now that you would use just solely for that or something. There's got to be a camera that you don't need to buy something for like 3-4K. Like for DXRs or proper shooting cameras and stuff like that. But also I'm also going to get some podcast stuff really, because I need to have proper sound thing, one where I can actually have music up, edit the settings. Right, I'll be back guys. Just gonna say I wasn't ready. I was gonna hit ready on, well, not ready yet, get everything ready, set up, ready to go on the live, and then as I continue, well, that's what I'm used to pressing, and then it's just go live, and then it's like counts down, and like I not shit myself. I'm like, oh no, where do I set the phone up? I'm like not ready for it, and if I end it, it can mess everything up because other people come on and see it says like maybe you've gone live or something. You go to go on the live, but then I'm not live, so it's like wait what? So if it happens again, people aren't going to necessarily believe it, which is I mean that's understandable. So I've noticed that pattern before, and I looked up and it was like that's typically the reason being. And so yeah, I wouldn't come back a second time if I felt like I'd been messed over on it. Anyway, right. Oh, that coffee's so good. Anyway, peace, love. I appreciate it, guys, and I hope to catch you all back here. And it will. I know sometimes I'll be back in 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Normally, on someone it's later on a day, like 11 or 12. Chances of me coming back, I'll normally be like, I might come back, I might not. This time, it 100% will be. I know I've been back for a bit because I come back and what I'm doing is instead of starting a schedule live again like I did on my recent platform, I didn't know how to do that. So either you have a scheduled live so everyone else can see it, but then you have to go live by that point, or I have a thing that pop up telling me to do it live, and it was like I was doing the other way around. So you know, tell people I was going to go live, and then I wasn't. So it wasn't telling me I need to go live. No, that's stupid. But say if you're deep in your work, deep in your art, deep in thinking, whatever, hours fly by. Do you know what I mean? They really do. So what's up, bro? I will be back in a minute, guys. I'm really excited. I really appreciate it. So I'm looking for my coat. I swear it was on the back of the chair. And I looked everywhere. I can't see it. Oh, I was going to put it around the corner. Yeah. Anyway, as I said, I'll be back 10 minutes. And the reason I say 10 minutes, obviously, for UK, it's only 8:19. Hopefully, be back by 1:30. But yeah, new. Oh no. No, rich. What am I rich? I wish, bro. I wish. No, I'm joking. That's a joke, by the way. I just want to see what comes in response after that. I mean, obviously, money can help stability for sure. But I mean, running a business is never, in my opinion, unless you're ever like, fully willing to make money from a business, you have to cut costs. You have to do this. You have to do that. And I'm not willing to do that because one, I'm proud of my product because of the effort and time I put into it. I mean, I don't want to look back and go like, teacher, if I when I had kids with my partner and be like, so yeah, your dad made this, and it's like not built to last. That's what you need to do for everybody, and it's just not a good method of teaching to somebody something, is it? Like, it's not like skateboarding. It takes so long. You mess up your body a little bit. Like slip disc in my spine, tore ACL, compound fracture, the bone came out my arm. Like some severe injuries, and I feel like a lot of people these days just necessarily wouldn't continue that because they'd be like, well, what's the point? I can just go and like swipe and get dopamine straight away, sort of thing. That's the sort of vibe I get. Welcome, bro. Pakistan warm. So I'll just say straight up, anywhere in the East, Middle East, not from East, from West. That's flipping good English, isn't it? Oh damn it, my brain. Oh well. Doesn't matter. But yeah, as I say, I'll be back in 15 minutes, 10 minutes, 10, 15. And I don't even know what I'm doing today really, because I haven't got any wood. I'm going to fingerboard and probably try and lock in, but it's really going to be about the warm up, and then today, and I mean through today, is going to be, because obviously I've got no board to make, it's brilliant, I've done everything I need to do, so realistically that's the time that I lock in with the fingerboarding. It's not that I don't enjoy fingerboarding, but it's fingerboarding itself became second to making the boards for me. But that's just because I'm a creative person, I like making things. So, you know, getting wood and then, you know, drilling it together and then end up with a board that's so sunset one. It looks like it's made in the factory, but it's just made here. You know what I mean? And that's like, I feel like the issue is with a lot of people these days is, well, like I said earlier, nothing's built to last, but with that, nothing's built for quality or care, because when you build something that's not to last, or you're building something thinking about the paycheck, by wanting the paycheck, you try push it quicker, and then you cut costs and you cut quality, and you just, yeah, you know, cut everything, every aspect, and that's literally what I'm not about. So I'm so on the ball with, I mean, some boards take me multiple days to make because I don't want to like rush it. I'm like, okay, today I'm extra tired, and a lot of companies be like, no, it's fine, push that last hour stretch, push that last, now I'm like, nah, I'm good. That's it, I'm pushing like half an hour maybe, and then I'm done, and then yeah, cool. the board doesn't get made for like another day or so, I might take a day's rest in between. That's like what money not made. Oh no. But I think really, it's not even like me trying to live by my words. I actually mean it. Money is not what I care about. It's important, but realistically, everything was to go to shit tomorrow. Would money be helpful? No. Would medication be helpful in a wartime scenario? Probably, because they're worth a lot. You know what I mean? They become like a currency in that scenario, for example. But my point is, you can never live and plan out for the next minute. I don't think. You can try and be prepared, especially when things are always so uncertain. You just have to almost roll the dice. Don't take crazy risks so you guarantee so tomorrow doesn't happen. If that makes sense. Like I just gamble my like savings away, my money away, like all this stuff. Don't do that. But still, make sure you live your life as well. Do what you love, because otherwise we're all just really pushing for what reason? Hello man, welcome, welcome. Do you know what I mean? We're all pushing for what reason? If I didn't make boards that I enjoyed, if I didn't draw the boards or the graphics or anything like that, would I enjoy it? Probably not, you know? And if you're not enjoying it, I mean, people go, life's not going to be enjoyed, bro. I'm like, well, actually, you're deadly wrong there. Life is meant to be enjoyed. It's so obvious through chemical reaction in the brain, dopamine and cortisol. Now, we have two main ones, stress and happiness mainly, right? But you also have way more on the happy side one. So if anything, happiness is meant to be felt because you've got endorphins, you've got dopamine, you've got serotonin. All these things are feel-good factors, but there's not many that are necessarily linked to stress. Like cortisol, there's a few others, but I mean, mainly it is to do with feeling good in life. When people go, life's not about feeling good, I'm like, you're wrong. Right, it's not about getting high like I used to say about I'm sober now. That's a false blanket. Fair enough, I know some people, but I mean, generally we are here for a purpose. Like, if you look at history before, look at the pyramids, right? That's innovation to the next level. And it would have taken maybe generations of people to put them together, but they didn't care about like not seeing the end result. They cared about seeing their section complete. Everyone now cares about everything being done 100% in their lifetime and they're doing it, rather than being like, you know what, I don't mind putting in the work now so my kids can reap the benefits or the future generations. When Chernobyl disaster happened, people laid down their lives because they knew that future generations would need it. We don't have anybody like that really. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of sad. And that's what I said. So for me, it's like, that's when it's become more about money for people and less about the enjoyment of what you do. You know, I love making boards, and I just seeing go from like a drawing to, you know, and I know it's not helping the world like in the same sense. I mean, it's probably better than giving people screen time and more technology time, like fingerboards, skateboards. It's so more physical to do. I mean, I don't, you know, I feel like I don't know if I've been on screen time too long, and I feel like watching a podcast, that's fine because it's one consistent thing. It gives your brain time to rest without, you know, skipping through these tasks, but scrolling like that, and then having high speed on as well, which I see some people like, you know, some people do. I'm like, that's crazy to me. That's like, you are just literally destroying your body's capabilities of being able to withstand long, uncomfortable pauses in between releases of dopamine in your body. And they shouldn't even be uncomfortable. They should be natural. Humans should, like, you know, dopamine, do endorphins. Like, you are also meant to feel the lows, so you feel the highs. Do you know what I mean? So if you imagine it, at one point, saber-toothed cat chasing us, you know, cortisol, stress, adrenaline, all these things going through our bodies, wears off. And then when we do feel good again, it feels so much better because you've had that stress. So you don't just come from like base level. Your base level's been dropped. So you feel it more. So it actually makes surviving feel way more of a thrill than it even would have done just baseline level. So then you get this sort of seek to go and hunt again, survive again. So it throws you in this loop of essentially, when people say life ain't about happiness, it clearly is, but not like money. It's about a natural release of happiness in one state of mind. So as I said, dopamine, endorphins, serotonin, all these things are about feeling good, where there's mainly only cortisol for feeling depressed. I mean, not depressed, I mean, yeah, there's other ones, but I mean stress mainly. So there's so many chemicals in the brain that are released for happiness. As I said, endorphins can be from working out, serotonin can just, it's a natural release throughout the day anyway, but then dopamine through the reward center part of the brain. So I'm not trying to bore everyone here. So it's very important people do what they want to do in life. And when I say do what they want, I mean on a respectful level, but I mean, say you want to play with a Warhammer, say you want to go swimming, say you want to, anything, it doesn't matter. And also, people need to stop judging people as well. Because for example, people try and judge me, but it's funny. But the people most of the times go, "Oh wait, you have a business? Oh wait, you're a founder? Oh, that's actually cool. I respect that. I skateboard. I respect that." I was like, so if I didn't skateboard or I didn't have my own business, you wouldn't respect what I was doing. Then I don't respect that back, because I think that's just against, like, I'm with everybody being able to do it as long as you don't impact someone else's life. You just get on with your life and do you. And, you know, if you help people out, you know, more the merrier. Yo, what up? What up? What up? What up? What up? My brain's not working, so it's like mushy. But yeah, the only thing I teach is like how I got sober, how I maintain being sober. And I mean, sober for me is a big, like, I was a very, very severe addict. These are all codeine. Right. And obviously, you know, there's easily 300 codeine in there, plus, I'd say more than that. There's a lot. And then I've got Lyrica, which is pregabalin, so other people might know it, for my nerve pain. And I've had injuries like bone come out the arm. I was an alcoholic. I drank 2 litres every day at one point. I was bad. So when people tell me I don't know about addiction, yeah, we're all different. I do know about addiction, but we are all different, granted. I was that bad, I pushed people away. If people, you know, even told me, do you know how people try and go, "Oh yeah, I get sober for you," but me, no, I was like, "Go, leave me alone. This is my life, my choice, my rules. I do what I want if I want." And that's a bad way to live, I'm just saying. That's what I was like. I would rather have, because people push me around my whole life, that's how I ended up like I did. It's not boo-hoo. It's just saying, when people give that ultimatum, you think it'd be life-changing. But that's what I'm saying. In life, you need to, I can sit next to all the opiates and pregabalin and with the opioids, you know, my brain's not working. Benzos that I've got as well, because I get them for seizures. There's alcohol in the fridge, essentially, for cooking. And I know it's not the same, but I mean, I was at 1.2 litres a day. I'd be able to be around all these and still concentrate, still talk about them. At one point, wasn't really possible, because it would make me spiral into thinking about it. But now I'm so out of this mindset of like, wow, I cannot believe how far, it's not even how far gone, it's not how far you've come, it's how far gone I was. Do you know what, that's the only way to describe it. When people go, "Oh, I can't believe how far I've come," I was like, have you come far, or have you come back to normality? Was you far gone? Right, I was in my case. So I mean, because reality is out of touch. You don't realise who you hurt. You don't realise how bad that what you're doing is, the state you are in. You know, what you're doing with your life. Where are you going? Where are you heading? You don't have any direction. And that's why I feel like alcohol was just so bad for me. Well, especially with all the others like opioids, anything. It was just a recipe for disaster, because I had no motivations, I had no drive, no spirit, no nothing. And now, to say, like, people sit there and go, "Oh, addiction is going to be a battle you face for life." Now it is, but the reason I like to show people, to say I sit next to opioids still, I sit next to pregabalin and benzos and stuff like that, is to show people there is light at the end of the tunnel, more than people will let you think. Because if they keep you in this rut of thinking every day, you're like a customer, and every customer cured, no, sorry, every patient cured is a customer lost. So if you get sober and you don't take the methadone, if you don't take some form of something, they lose their customer. This is a known fact. This is a known fact. So it's like alcohol. They don't want, realistically, all cigarettes, they always want you something, you know, Nicorette, this, that. Like, yes, they don't want to be paying the full health services stuff, but at the end of the day, that is a big money maker for the governments, right? And it's bad. Hello, sorry. Well, I haven't responded to that yet, but yeah, it's a big money maker for the government. It's a bad thing, and that's why I really want to express to people, for addictions now become this bad thing so badly, yet they push it more than anybody else does through cigarettes and alcohol. It's very weird. But then my company being called Skate Addiction is taboo, because addiction's a bad thing. No, addiction, embracing that part of you is like, yeah, I'm addicted to skateboarding, or I was an addict. I'm not taking a piss out of addicts at one point. I sit next to opioids and pregabalin. My point is that the trap we fall into is to fall back in the same loop. We go to this, you know, you go to rehab and you get sober, for example, for some people, and then you come back and you wonder why you fall into it. It's because you've got the same people, same settings, same scenario, same issues and same trauma. Like, it all links. If you were to go to a completely new area, new vibe, new people, new healthy, forming new healthy cognitive neural pathways in the brain, it's very simply just done by like positive routine repair. It's not the same, won't repeat trauma. Like, no, it won't repair trauma, sorry, but it still has a way of helping the brain. You know, so when you see something cognitively, think about it in a different way. But as I say, rehab and all these things for people, you know, nothing ever seems to work, and I really felt like that was an injustice. So after looking into it, realised, and myself getting sober, being next to opioids and pregabalin and stuff like that, having my own business now, I'm like, what's the difference? Well, I stand on saying I'm super proud of the business. Does it have to be business, or could it be just a hobby or a passion? Now, I can't find that out now because I've got sober through my business, but I wonder if people, that's what I'm telling people, because if they're on this tippy top line of like getting sober or not, like I was, try doing it with something you love rather than trying like, you know, it's like, oh, you take a breather, distract yourself. And like, that doesn't seem to actually work, because taking a breather and having time to think is a dangerous part when it comes to some substances, because you will find a way to be okay in your head. You'll be, oh, you know, just this one time, or this, that's it. No, just go and run, go swim, go hike, go skate, go do whatever you wanted to get sober for, and focus on that. It's like people say one thing at a time. I think, well, that's the issue. No, yes, one thing at a time, but at the same time, you need to combine the love and the reason you're getting sober for the, you know what I mean? It really does make sense. But that's the thing, as I say, after getting sober and now being able to sit next to, I sit next to stimulants, which would be, this would be really hard. These are like Adderall instant release ones, and I have hundreds of these ones, right? Because this is what I'm prescribed. These ones and pregabalin. No, but yeah. So there's some more of them. Like this is those ADHD. These are ADHD meds, instant release. Wait, what's called it? I have no idea what that is, bro. But yeah, instant release ADHD. Oh, my stomach acid is doing so bad. Lyrica and opioids. Okay, 2 seconds ago, I don't know what to respond to my partner in a sec. But my point is, being next to all these things, oh, and just so people can read it because it's quite small, but diazepam. I'm not saying all these meds are the best. I'm not even saying they're good. They're really, stay away from them. But these are all majorly addictive medications. And I would say from least to worst, probably diazepam, pregabalin, all between codeine, and then methylphenidate, which is ADHD medication, but instant release ones. So yeah, as I say, Lyrica is bad, but it's more of a, you're not normal when you don't have it. So you're not you when you're not hungry, but it's generally, it's awful. And I don't know how to describe it. I mean, it's one of those, the issues with lots of things is normality. And you take it for normality, but then you don't have it, and then you obviously, because you've had it for normality, you're definitely not going to be normal, but then you're suffering with extreme withdrawals at the same time. It's just not worth it. So I'm trying to come off pregabalin at the moment, Lyrica, whatever you want to call it. Opioids, I used to be on morphine sulfate, which is liquid morphine, Oromorph, all that stuff. And for my spine, slip disc in my spine, tore ACLs, compound fracture of the bone came out my arm, just a lot of injuries. And I'm really on, I think I'm on something, because addiction is not, what is it, like 98% of people don't get it. It's a crazy number of people. If you combine all this stuff together, and alcohol's probably the worst, and you've got opioids and stuff like that, benzos are really bad, barbiturates at one point, but the main point I found with it all is I now sit here with all this stuff and not even really wanting to, there's occasionally part of me is like, oh, that was a nice feeling at one point, that's just me being mature about it. But it's also, it was a nice feeling at one point. It's fake. It's not fake. Yes, it released dopamine, but not, you know, it's technically synthetic, not through actually doing something good or like achieving something. And then if you want to take this and then achieve something too, that achievement won't feel as good because you're already on some sort of base level. That's like, you know, I'm not saying not to take medication if you prescribed it, but I think we are put into this mindset that we are weaker than we are and we can't achieve, because I've had people say, no, they can't even be near opioids. You know, these things go like hot candy, like, especially like cocodamol, not cocodamol, sorry, wrong one. Wait, why always the hydrocodone, that one, which is stronger than codeine by about 2-3 times the amount. And then there's, you know, tramadols or just anything really. But people really seek after it because it's clean, but it's, my point is, I mean, it's clean compared to some street stuff because it's made, you know, it's made in a lab pharmaceutically. But this is just a mindset trap to be in. The mind fuck. But the fact that I could have been I was such a bad alcoholic, I push everybody away from me. There's people like, oh no, it's okay, mum, like, I'll come with you to rehab, but they lead them on. Me, I was just straight up bad. It's like, if you don't like me, you don't like me. And that's because I grew up in care, and that's just, so me, it seemed impossible to change. It's like I didn't want to change, and even up until 3 years ago, I didn't want to. I was like, I like who I am. If people could show me a video of me in fetal position, concrete on the floor, I wouldn't bother me. It's disgusting. And like now, I'm not embarrassed by it now because it's a lesson to be learned from it, but it's more of a case of how do I figure out how I done that. And I think it's because I started the business, and it's something I was so focused on. They always say it's one thing at a time, but I think sitting there trying to have a bit of quiet peace of mind while you're trying to get sober is not a good idea, because you are stuck thinking about the only thing that would normally release dopamine for you. You need to go out there and realise there is other things that are going to release it for you, not just pills and syrups and whatnot, right? You need to go out there, get the runner's high. It may take a little bit longer because you're baseline, but you'll push yourself. It's probably peak physical time to detox as well. But they seem to leave you in this rut, telling you to just stay in there in your room or talk about it in a circle. And I think that's just by design. 100%. I think 100%. Obviously, I can't be right for sure, but every patient cured is a customer lost. And I think it just makes sense, because when they tried to get me sober through rehab and all these things, I spent so much money and also time, years, lost people like close to me, friends, because of just, and they don't care. You're just another number. Sometimes it's when you realise, what am I going to do for me? And it's taking that hard choice. And sometimes getting clean, it's funny, because you've got to take the method. Why? If you actually, the withdrawals are nasty. They're some of the worst things I've experienced, and they're painful and they're uncomfortable. Once you've got through them, you're through them. If you just switch over to methadone, you're just using their supply. But 4 or 5 days, depending, or maybe even a little longer, and then you're done. That's it. Have some showers, drink some water, get through it, boom. You honestly, and then there's nothing like it, because the sense of achievement in getting sober itself is one thing in itself. But to feel like you battled it through this long, tedious battle, it's going to make you feel more beaten down by it. Am I right? All right. I mean, that's obvious. If a battle is won in a day, people are going to feel so like beside themselves, like, yes, come on, we can do this. We're in our saying take years. People start to lose morality. They start to lose faith. They start to lose belief. It's just proven this is a fact. Okay. Oh, very much. That's a good point. Just the supernatural things. I think if there was something like Bigfoot or this, it would either just be another type of tribal person, like, you know what I mean? But not one person. It'd be like a group of people that just stayed hidden because of growing society and society worries of being like an outcast. Maybe. I also think like things are obviously made up, but things don't just come from nowhere. Like rumors, lies, and beliefs. Like, for example, Loch Ness Monster. I don't actually think there's it looks like something there is, but I don't know. It's wild, too wild to know anything. That's the thing, and that's what probably I like things that are more factual, but still you can find out more via like nature rather than things that are already set in stone, like maths. I mean, 2 + 2 is 4. There's no way around it, right? But string theory is a possibility. While there's other, so I like being able to sit there, I guess, and come up with potentially new theories. I'm not even trying to think I'm right, just to really show how many different possibilities there are. There's actually an infinite amount of possibilities that you can think of. And I'd be like, how's that possible? And that's what I mean. It's impossible to comprehend the amount of possibilities that your brain can think of. It's weird. It's a weird thing. Anyway, as I said, I'll be back in about 10 minutes, guys. I'm going to have a cigarette, and I don't smoke. This one's just proper cigarettes on now. Super addictive. And when I come back, I'll have a proper thing of water. So I have one for like 2 days, and I've got all days up, sort of all days there. My partner's going to be going away tonight, so I'll actually have like a little bit later to have a thing more than that. But anyway, guys, I appreciate the support. As I said, I'll be back in 10 minutes. But yeah, peace, love, and I'll catch you all then.